Yo, what's going on, everybody? So recently, My Hero Academia came out with a brand new chapter, chapter 309, and nothing major really happened. They pretty much just gave us a backstory on what happened with Deku and what led to him leaving UA High School. It also just showed us a little bit of what happened while he's out of UA High School. You know, for a second, I thought he left UA High School by himself, because if he did, I would have had a fucking problem with that. But I also, you know, they also answered some questions that I had as far as Deku leaving UA High School. You know, it shows in this chapter that All Might came with him, which is a sigh of relief, because I feel like Deku was way too emotional to be on his own. Like, he makes way more emotional decisions than logical decisions, which is really dangerous considering he's holding a very OP ass quirk. Add on top of that All For One and Shigaraki is looking for his ass, so he really did need to be out there by himself. It also shows that Deku got this new tool that All Might ordered from America. It's called Mid Gauntlet. It looked like they got it from that movie Two Heroes. Apparently, I guess that movie's canon now, since they incorporated something, you know, similar to it. I mean, they would have to at this point. I mean, I don't see why not. The homie Hawks hits up All Might to pretty much check on the status of Deku, you know, because they pretty much need to come up with a plan so they can, you know, get the drop on the League of Villains. And I noticed something while Hawks was talking to All Might. I seen that the homie Hawks didn't have any feathers, so it's a possibility that Dobby smoked his ass to the point we ain't have a fucking feather left, which is kind of unfortunate, because if he's trying to make plans while he doesn't have any feathers, then that's gonna be a fucking problem. But it seems like they just trying to get information on Deku, pretty much trying to get his status so they can make a move on the League of Villains, because they don't want to give Shigaraki the chance to get 100%. Another thing that I noticed while reading this chapter was the fact that Gran Torino was still alive. Like, bruh, why the fuck is Gran Torino still alive? Like, Shigaraki stuck his whole arm through his fucking chest, bruh. And not only did Shigaraki stick his arm through his chest, he body slammed Gran Torino ass while sticking his arm through his chest. Like, we seen the fucking concrete smash to the ground. We seen the blood coming from his chest. Let's not even take into account that Gran Torino's like, what, 70, 80 years old? My Hero fans, don't get mad at me, because I know how serious y'all take y'all fucking show. Like, seriously, y'all motherfuckers will be in the comment section writing paragraphs and stories that I'm not trying to read. So, like, yeah, don't kill me for that. But yeah, bro, like, Horikoshi, what the fuck is you doing, bro? Gran Torino should be dead as hell right now, right? He should be up there with Nana, talking about some, hey, tell her I'm gonna be up there with her soon. Like, no, you should be up there with her now, motherfucker. And also, another thing that caught my attention was the last page of the chapter, where they showed Deku, All Might, Best Jeanist, Endeavor, and Hawks going in to make a final attack on the League of Villains. And while reading this page, I couldn't help but think to myself, why the fuck is All Might going with them? Like, why the fuck is he there? Like, he's pretty much quirkless at this point. He can't go buff anymore, like, unless Eri did some shit to him. But as far as my knowledge goes, no one didn't mention that at all. So, I mean, I'm assuming that All Might is still skinny All Might. Take into account that the homie Hawks don't have his wings either. So, like, how effective can he really be? Like, this just confused me a lot, because, like, what the fuck is y'all gonna do once y'all get up in that building? And pretty much them having All Might going in there the way he is now, you already know what time it is, boys. Like, the death of All Might is incoming. Like, let's just call shit for what it is. Like, why else would he be going with them to the fucking League of Villains? Like, they over here talking about they're gonna get the drop as if they have some type of secret technique. Like, no, you're going against All For One Shigaraki and All For One himself. Like, what the fuck is y'all gonna do? Last time we seen Shigaraki versus Endeavor, Shigaraki had his size 12s up Endeavor's ass, standing on top of him, making him look like a little bitch. As for the homie Hawks, if it wasn't for Tokiyami, Dobby would have smoked his ass and got his first W in the whole series. Like, I don't understand what their plan is. Like, do they plan on just jumping Shigaraki once again? Because if so, where the fuck is Aizawa? Like, Aizawa played a key role in containing Shigaraki. If it wasn't for him, shit would have gone left real fucking quick, alright? Like, it's a reason why Shigaraki tried to get Aizawa out the way first with that quirkless bullet. But now, Shigaraki don't have to worry about Aizawa no more. Like, he can just fight freely now. Which means this shit is gonna be a fucking bloodbath, alright? And what the fuck is Best Jeanist gonna do? Like, he gonna make his jeans tighter or some shit? Like, fuck out of here, man. In conclusion, this chapter doesn't do anything but set up the ass whooping that Deku and them is gonna receive from Shigaraki. Like, Shigaraki is finna put his size 12s in all they asses, alright? As far as All Might, like, bruh, they did not have to include All Might on this mission. Like, they really didn't. But Horikoshi is trying to set up the whole heartstring thing where Deku lose someone important so he can mature as a character, which is something I really don't understand. Like, you don't have to kill off All Might. Like, All Might doesn't need to die. Like, he's perfect the way he is as far as supporting Deku with his information with the past One For All users. Like, he's good the way he is, bruh. But obviously, this is a ploy in order for Shigaraki to smoke his ass. So, like, Shigaraki's finna be smoking that plus ultra pack. As for Dabi, if shit goes his way, he might fuck around be eating him some chicken tendies after his fight with Hawks. Though, if I had to say, the person that might end up killing Hawks is Toga, because Hawks did kill twice, and you know Toga out for her revenge, so you know how that shit go. As far as best Jeanist, like, we seen what All For One did to his ass, pretty much one shot of his ass to the hospital. Like, bro, like I said, I guess the whole thing with this chapter is, like I said, it's a setup chapter, obviously, because the last page shows that they're finna get ready and go into battle. But it seemed like a pointless battle. Like, if all these heroes were in their prime, like, obviously they would end this shit in, like, you know, 10 minutes or whatever the fuck, right? But they clearly nerfed them for a reason, alright? All Might is going with them for a reason. We know why. They finna kill his ass. Hawks is going there nerf, which means that either Toga or Dabi is gonna do some shit. And another thing about Shigaraki, right? He has this quirk called Search, which allows him to search up to 100 people and know their weaknesses. He pretty much can track One For All, alright? Like, he can pretty much use that quirk to his advantage and see the pro heroes coming his way. That way the villains can get the drop on them instead of the pro heroes getting the drop on them. And I'm pretty sure Shigaraki doesn't only have Deku's information, like, he was fighting Endeavor too, so I mean, he could just track Endeavor as well and see that they're trying to set them up. But then again, I'm probably overthinking it a little bit on the villain side, because this is a Shonen Jump comic book. Like, I'm probably giving them a little bit too much credit. But this is the final act, so maybe these motherfuckers will finally wisen up. And another thing about this final act thing, right? Like, because a lot of people think that we might not get a time skip. After they kill All Might, I think that's when we hit the time skip, bro. I think after All Might die, is really gonna fuck Deku up, and from that point on, we get a time skip. Because, I mean, for us not to get a time skip in My Hero, or a Shonen Jump comic at that, like, it just seems a little bit off, you know? And I don't think Horikoshi gonna have the series end with Deku beating All For One of Shigaraki in his current form. Like, he's way too underdeveloped now to be doing any of that shit. Like, he would need a time skip or an older version of Deku to even compete with them people. You also gotta take into account that other characters like Bakugo and Todoroki have to resolve their stories, especially Todoroki, because I'm pretty sure at some point him and Dabi has to fight. And that's been foreshadowed for a minute now, and I don't think we gonna get that fight if the pro heroes was to just go in and finish off the League of Villains. Like, if you really want to be honest, that shit that I just mentioned, like the other characters needing their resolves, like, that pretty much in of itself is a foreshadow that these pro heroes are going to fail this mission in trying to get the drop on the League of Villains. Like, this shit is going to end bad, bro. Like, like, really fucking bad. Like, but it's just a prediction though. I do believe after the heroes, you know, fail this mission miserably, like, we will hit that time skip. Because, I mean, Todoroki has to have a reason to want to fight Dabi, you know, whether he puts Endeavor out of commission or he kills Hawks. Whatever it is, we're going to find out in this upcoming battle with the pro heroes versus the League of Villains, alright? The same goes for Deku too. He has to have a motive to want to, you know, go and kick Shigaraki's ass or All For One's ass even more, you know? Even though I think it's a huge possibility that Deku won't even kill or beat Shigaraki. Like, I think Shigaraki's going to sabotage himself and get fucked over by All For One or some shit. Like, you already know the Shonen Jump cliche. I call that shit the Madara and Obito Uchiha. But that's pretty much all I had to say about this chapter, man. Like I said, it was pretty mid for the most part. I didn't even want to review this, to be honest. Like, only reason I made a video is because I had some people out there who wanted me to address some things, and for those people, I mean, here you go. If it was one thing I had to change about the chapter, it would be the fact that Gran Torino is still alive. Like, I think Gran Torino should be dead as hell right now. Like, why the fuck is he still alive? Like, it's real fucking funny, bruh, because when it comes to Night Eye, he died from a fucking toothpick, alright? But when it comes to Gran Torino fighting against an all-for-one version of Shigaraki, like, Shigaraki pretty much punched a fucking hole through his chest, and Gran Torino is all in the hospital talking about, oh, take this scarf, go ahead and kill Shigaraki, I failed to do so. Like, the fuck? You shouldn't even be talking right now. You should be dead as fuck, bro. Like, you should be in the heavens or some shit. Like, fuck out of here. But if you like the video, like and subscribe. I very much appreciate it. It's your boy Trigger Senpai, and I'm out, man. Peace.